So with my picks for week number 3, I was most certainly hoping that I was going to do better than the 8-8 that I did in week number 2. And to be fair, I did, but I was hoping to do better than 10-6. Now, of course, silly me, in a couple of cases, I went against my first instinct, even if my first instinct didn't make a whole lot of logical sense. For example, remember I referenced how there was no real reason to believe that the Arizona Cardinals should go on the road and lose to the Buffalo Bills, and there was no real reason logically to believe that the Bills would win that game after their 0-2 start. However, I said that's probably why the Bills would win that game. This is the type of game that Rex Ryan would win, and I should pick them, but I picked the Cardinals anyways. Oopsie daisies. Same thing with the Steelers and the Eagles, the Keystone State battle. Talking about the Eagles being 2-0, but the Steelers are the better team. However, this is the type of game where the Steelers can usually be caught slacking, and they lose to these type of teams. And, deep down, I'm like, I should probably pick the Eagles, and I picked the Steelers, and oopsie daisies. So this week, I'm not going against my instincts, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If I'm wrong, I'm fucking wrong. But sometimes you get into, especially for me, a very analytical person, sometimes it's paralysis by analysis. I overthink things, and I think about too many contingencies and possibilities. Instead of just making a pick and being confident in my first choice, usually my first choice is the right choice. So here are my picks for week number 4. You can peep them again in the description box below. Season to date, I'm 28-20. I'm okay, but I'm nothing great. That's for damn sure, and I need to change that. So let's get going. You're welcome to pick against me, and let me know if I'm going to be right or wrong and why. All in the comment section below. So I had Cincinnati over Miami Thursday night. I wouldn't pick the Dolphins to win that game. No way. Now, in terms of the Sunday game, since I'm already 1-0 for the week, let's talk about what we've got. That early morning game, the London game. Indianapolis traveling to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. One of the Jaguars' 8 home games. Hooray! And it's probably a good thing for Jaguars fans that the home game's over in London because their team looks like shit right now. This is the type of game, frankly, that the Jaguars need to win. They have to win. This is truly a must-win, and it should be a must-win. And if they don't win this game, and if they in particular look bad against the Colts in this lone featured spot in the morning on CBS, then that team needs to leave London and leave Gus Bradley's fucking ass there at fucking Big Ben, at Big Ben or at Buckingham Palace or Windsor, wherever the fuck you need to go. Wherever the fuck you go in London. I don't fucking know and I don't fucking care. But if the Jaguars start off the season 0-4, the seat needs to be nuclear hot on Gus Bradley, and it might be time to pull the damn trigger because you're just not seeing the progression out of this team that there should be. Now, I think there's still a chance to save this season for the Jaguars, but it must happen here. I think they're more familiar with playing in London. I'm going to take the Jaguars in week number 4, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, moving on to the regular Sunday games, I'll take Carolina over Atlanta. I'll take Detroit over Chicago. I'll take the Bills over the Patriots. Yes, the Patriots are 3-0, and the Bills are still 1-2, even though they just basically dominated the Cardinals. You look at this game, and this game is everything for Rex Ryan. I mean, he has such a hard-on for Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. It's insane. I legitimately think if you presented Rex Ryan with the option to beat Bill Belichick twice a year or winning the Super Bowl, he might take beating Bill Belichick twice a year. The man crush runs that strong with him. His struggle to suppress his homoerotic feelings for the hoodie is that real. That struggle is real. This is everything to him. The Patriots lose this game. Yeah, it's just one game. It's a divisional game. It's a rivalry game. Shit happens. This is everything for Rex Ryan. If the Bills don't win this game, their season is truly Kaputski's because he's going to be devastated. And it's going to carry over to the team. So I think somehow, some way, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Again, these are the type of games that Rex Ryan-led teams win. I think the Bills will win. I can't believe I'm saying that. Good Christ. I'll take the Seahawks over the Jets. Let's see if Fitzpatrick throws 8 picks this week. I will take the Oakland Raiders over the surprising 3-0 Baltimore Ravens. That could actually be a pretty good game. The Ravens haven't really beaten too much of anybody right now. Let's be honest. That's really what it is. They beat the Bills. They beat the Browns. And then last week they beat the Jaguars. None of those teams with a winning record, and none of those teams you really view at this moment as being playoff contenders. The Raiders are the first kind of playoff contender the Ravens will run into. This will be a real test for them. I will take the Raiders, even though their defense has been struggling. I'll take the Texans over the Titans. I'll take the Broncos over the Buccaneers. I'll take the Cardinals to bounce back and beat the Rams. I will take, in the revenge game, Drew Brees over Phillip Rivers. This is going to be interesting. Drew Brees going back to San Diego. And if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, but this might be the first time he's played against San Diego in San Diego since he left after the 2005 season. It might be the second, but no matter what, there's still a revenge factor there. You know, that's where Drew Brees got his NFL start at. And that's where he was ultimately let go for nothing because the team was ready to move on to Phillip Rivers, which ultimately kind of worked out for both organizations, especially the Saints. But you look at the Saints, they had an embarrassing loss on Monday night at home. You had all this talk about Steve Gleason in the game from 12 years ago or 10 years ago after Hurricane Katrina, all this feelings and everything else. And then Atlanta comes in and dominates them. The Saints have got to win one at some point in time. The Chargers could be without several offensive line starters, which isn't as big of a deal because the Saints aren't very good on defense. But I expect Drew Brees to come out and play really well and the Saints to find a way to win this game. I'll take the Cowboys over the 49ers in the Sunday night game. I will take the Steelers to beat the Chiefs in the Monday night game because it makes no real sense at this point in time. They just lost to Washington last week. It's really hard to ever get a peg on this Giants team for who they really are. I will take the Giants to beat the Vikings. Yeah, I can't believe I'm picking against the undefeated Vikings at home, but I am. There's crazy shit like that. It happens all the time in the NFL. So again, those are my picks this week. I'm either going to go like 12-4, or I'm going to go like 6-10, or no, there weren't 16 games this week, so it'd be pretty hard to do that, wouldn't it? Whatever the fuck. I'm either going to do really good or really bad this week. We'll find out, I guess, on Sunday and Monday, won't we?